every year. Wow. This is awesome. Do me a favor. You're going to love this next speaker. And to help me bring him on stage, I'm going to need some energy. So do me a favor, stand up. How many of you are super excited and very grateful that whoever invited you to this event pushed you a little bit to get you to raise your hand? I can remember the first event we did in Puerto Vallarta, and this guy came down there, really got to know him and his family, and you know, one of the things they don't tell you when you're building a restaurant in the beginning, you don't hear it talked about a lot, but the really cool thing about this business is you get to choose who you want to work with. And you get to choose who you pour into because they pour back into you. And if you're fortunate enough, you find somebody that has a whole lot more energy than you do. And then they really push you. And I will tell you, this gentleman has more energy than all of you combined. He brings it down. He is unbelievable. He's my good friend. And so when we bring him up here, one quick story about him when we're going to get him up here. He tells the story about his mom. His mom has passed away. And every time I hear the story, I almost start crying because on her deathbed, she said, "Tom, I want you to go out and change 100 people's lives before you're done on the planet." Now think about that. What does that mean? If someone told you to do that, how would you respond? Especially if it was your mom, right? This guy lives on purpose every single day. He is pouring into his team more than anyone that I know of in this business, and he deserves the biggest round of applause that you've ever given anyone. So pretend it's your biggest rock star, your favorite friend, whoever you love. Get on your feet, give a big ovation to Tom Truong.
Love you. Come on, baby! EXP! Purpose is a non-negotiable intention to achieve a long-term goal that is both... I need my mic. Is it on? Is my mic on? Hey, we learn to be agile, right? Yeah. All right. Tell me when we're good. Thank you. All right. You guys heard me in the back without the mic, right? I love it. So in your app, BUILD23, it talks about purpose. And purpose is a non-negotiable intention to achieve a long-term goal that is both personally meaningful and changes the world. Here's my question for you. Did you come here over the past 3 days? And do you have a purpose? Are you on purpose? Are you building a thriving real estate business that requires design? A sales organization will live and die. A sales organization will live and die by how you execute what you plan. Are you building with purpose, ladies and gentlemen? It's my question for you. You see, my purpose in life changes over time. That was me as a young kid back in Vietnam. And back in Vietnam, I was born into a middle class, possibly middle upper class family. And both my mom, my dad, and generations before that worked really hard to make their way in life. That purpose changed one day, okay? And this is what Mark Twain says. The two most important days of your life are the day you were born and the day you find out why. Ladies and gentlemen, have you found out why yet? What are your two most important days? I challenge you today to think about that, to reflect as we leave here, and to reflect, what is your purpose in life? You see, for me, the two most important days which define my purpose in life are the day I left Vietnam and the day my mom asked me to make her that one promise before she passed that Scott mentioned earlier. And before EXP, I didn't have a way. I said, yes, Mom. Of course, I would say yes to that in her deathbed. But I did not have a way to change lives. You see, before the business, I was doing all right. I was doing very well financially as a CFO for a publicly traded insurance company, as an investor, as a landlord. I was doing all right. But I did not have a way to help 100 people become personally, financially free. There's that day. That's the day we left Vietnam, April 30th, 1975. That's the boat. Can you imagine our lives changed because my mom was totally on purpose? This is the second day. A few weeks before she passed, I did not know that she was going to pass, but it was on that day that I had a quiet moment with my mom, and she asked me to make that one promise. You see, my mom, in so many ways, only had a third grade education. Because back in Vietnam, she had a family business. They wanted her to just stay home, be a mom, raised 8 kids, had 8 kids, and just serve the family and help in the family business. But her purpose was sort of like this here. Strive not to be a success, Tom, but to be of value to humankind. And my mom's purpose was instilled in us and her 8 children. Her purpose in life, when you understand she had to leave everything behind. When the U.S. was announcing that we were leaving, the embassies pulling out of Vietnam, that was about April 27th or something, the word got out that the U.S. is leaving. It was a frantic desperation to go to the bank to get money out. All the banks were shut down. We tried 3 times to get out, and it was the 3rd time that we finally got out, and we left with nothing except the shirts on our back, and each of us had a backpack. And in that backpack was pictures of all my brothers and sisters and my ID, just in case we got separated at the war. That's all we did. There was no money. And her purpose changed on that day. This is us coming into the United States. Only 6 of us made it. The other 2 older brothers were stuck behind in Vietnam. See, my mom's purpose was to give her children the best life possible, and she was willing to die for it. She was willing to die for it, to leave a country, have no idea where we're going. But she knew that one thing when she left was the land of opportunities, America, the United States. And we waited and waited and waited in Guam, which is a U.S. island, for somebody who would sponsor us to come to the country. We got the call to go to Germany. She didn't want to go to Germany. We got the call to go to Paris, to France. We didn't go to Paris. She goes, I want to go to the United States of America, the land of opportunity, the land of the free. And she always asked me, Tom, and all my brothers and sisters, how do you add value to society? You see, she worked 2 full-time jobs, cleaning toilets, cleaning hospital beds to raise 8 kids. And she would be the person that would walk down the street, see a Coke can, pick it up, take that to the recycling center, turn it in for 5 cents, and then send it back to Vietnam to help the less fortunate. That was my mother. I remember going to the grocery store. That's me in the middle. My older brother Tim and my younger brother Jim. I remember going to the grocery store at about 10 years old. That's about 10 years old there. And she asked me to go get groceries because she was working 2 full-time jobs. Went to the grocery store, picked up everything that she wanted me to pick up, and I got in line. Got up to the beginning of the line, and then she rang it up. I pulled out the money, and she goes, "Oh, you're in the wrong line." Wrong line? This is the regular line. That's the food stamps line. See, we got a hand up. The U.S. took care of our family, gave us some food stamps, gave us some housing to get us started. And that was the day I came home to my mom and I said, "Mom, what is this food stamp? Why did it have to be different and go into a different line?" And that was the day I decided, you know what, I'm going to help the family make money and add value to our life. My older brother, Tim, was 14. At 14 years old, you can get a paper route. And so I helped him get a paper route, helped him get a big paper route. And then you know it, before you know it, I got my own paper route, baby. Got my own paper route. That's Tim's paper route, that's my paper route. And I recruited back then my friend to go help me deliver newspapers. I had to lie, by the way, when I walked into the Boston Globe newspaper's office, and I was really short. Pretend I'm really tall, because you have to be 14. He knew, but he knew the work ethic. He knew the work ethic that my brother and my sister, and he goes, you got a job, kid. And not only did I have one paper route after school, when I got really the hang of it, I got a second paper out in the morning. So I'm delivering papers from 5:30 in the morning to about 6:30, go to school, come home from school at 2:30, and do another paper out in the afternoon. That's the value that Mom said, "Tom, you got to do it. You got to do whatever it takes." Okay? Babe Ruth, every strikeout brings me closer to the next home run. When you guys are out there, agent attraction, doing agent attraction, are you getting those? You're getting a 22 straight no's or 200 straight no's? To find the one. To find the one who will change their life and to change other people's lives. Okay? Mom always said, "Tom, show up early, stay late." In my corporate world, if your boss shows up at 8, you show up at 7:30 and you open the door. If your boss leaves at 6:30, you walk him out the door and you shut the door. And that's what I did from day one in my summer internship. How can I serve you, boss? I was a summer intern. He goes, "Tom, go home." No. If you still have work to do, I'm here to help you. And the following year, he created a job for me, and we went there. I did everything. Baseball was the one thing that I was able to pay for. Mom didn't have money to get us into sports. But baseball, even on the baseball team, I played every position. I showed up early. That's Mr. Patiglio, my coach. I'll never forget him. I would show up early, help him put out the bases, set up the bats. When the game was over, or practice was over, the kids' parents came and picked them up. I had no parent to pick me up. So at the beginning, it was an excuse to just let everyone go. Let me help pick up, put the bases away, put the bats away, carry the stuff to his car, right? And then walked home sometimes a couple of miles, depending where the game was, to get home. But I knew to give it my all. Are you giving it your all right now with this gift that we all have at EXP? Are you giving it all? And for me, it's not about money. It's about giving back and being passionate about helping others to change lives through real estate. See, my world changed 5.5 years ago. That's the first lunch and learn. Jason Guessing. All right, my sponsors, Tracy Gagnon called me, and I grilled her a little bit. And then the following day, and that whole weekend, I grilled Scott Lewis. And then the day after that, 2 sleepless nights. I drove 2.5 hours to meet with Jason. I grilled him on the financial statements of the company. Back then, we were still liability-free, debt-free, $2.3 million in the savings account. I said, this is my company because I have a chance to change lives. And right there and then, baby, I hit the ground running. Okay, hit the ground running. 4 lunch and learns in the first week. 15 people per party made about 200 phone calls, and 60 people showed up over 4 lunch and learns. 2 on a Friday, 2 on a Saturday, and that's how we got started to change lives. Okay? That was me as a CFO. I sat in my ivory tower in my corner office, helping me, my family. But I didn't have the ability to help others. And it is EXP that allows me to travel the world. I don't need to sit in my ivory tower. I can sit on the floor. I can sit in the airports with airplanes canceled and weather and everything else to build this business, to change lives. Michael Jordan, I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost over 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I failed over and over and over again, and that's why I succeed. For me, I've called 25 agents per week for the first 3.5 years, more than 7,150 agents over the last 5.5 years. I've lost 1,168 agents as of 3 days ago in my back office. Over 2,000 times I've been entrusted to do a three-way call, and I was not able to close them on the spot. See, I failed over and over and over again, and that's why I'm winning here with EXP. Three and a half years into the business, I'm at 416 agents. Hey, I'm not the brightest guy, maybe I'm not the most personable guy, but that's all right. That's all right. You might be thinking to yourself the same thing. Well, Gene is a rock star. He can do it. Brent? Oh my God, of course he is. He's a legend, right? They can do it, but not me. I can't be as handsome as Michael Des. All right? But who cares? So on June 20th, when I got my rev share check, I was at 416 agents. And I said to my wife, I said, Marissa, I want to rock the calm. I learned that from Rob Flick, Gene Frederick, Scott Lewis, when they were trying to get the company from whatever the number was to 1,000 agents worldwide at EXP. I said, can I steal that? Can I use that? He goes, absolutely. Go rock the comma, Tom. And there it is. From that day on, I said, Marissa, pack my schedule. I'm going to go on the road. I'm going to find winners. I'm going to find winners. I'm going to help them build. And there it is. And by Thanksgiving, we only hit 552 agents. I worked my tail off. Added 130 agents in 6 months or so, 5 months or so. But I knew within those 552, we're now in 3 countries, we're in 28 states, we're in 365 cities, and I knew I could find some leaders, some winners. So I kept going. We're going to keep moving, keep it along, never stopping, add more to my calendar, more hotel rooms, more cancel flights. And on December 31st, almost 1,000, almost. But I didn't stop because I knew there's people in there who's going to want to build. And by January 20th, 996. Oh my God. I called Scott. Are you sure this is going to work, man? Because I've been working my tail off. Brent says, building your organization takes a vision for your future that's so big, it powers you through your setback, overcomes your fears, and helps you shatter your limiting beliefs. Did we help you shatter your limiting beliefs this week? Glenn Sanford. I asked Glenn, what is meaning of purpose to you? Glenn says, purpose is the discovery of how what you are doing is really in service of others. It's focusing on the gains others will enjoy through where you focus your time and attention. It's a recontextualizing. He's so brilliant, I can't even pronounce the word. What you do as not work for others, but work in service of others. Those who operate from a sense of purpose are happier and more fulfilled and much more likely to keep going when times get tough, which happens. That's our founder. That's our leader, Glenn Sanford. So we kept going, man. We kept doing this, and guess what? By February 20th, boom, I rocked the comma! Right? My wife, Marissa, deserves as much credit as I do. I asked her about her purpose, and that's what she said. Both the beauty and the tragedy of life is that you, all of you in the audience, have options. You choose to succeed, or you can choose to fail. It's one decision, folks. The rest will follow. So as you leave here today, this week, are you going to make that one decision? This is our schedule in 2022. I doubled down. Doubled down. This is not Zoom calls. This is in person in real life. I needed to find the people. Okay, Mark Zuckerberg. The purpose is that sense that we are part of something bigger than ourselves, that we're needed, that we have something better ahead to work for. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tom Truong. I am passionate about helping all of you grow. I've never said no to a three-way call. Ever, ever, ever. I might be booked, but I will get on a three-way call with you. I've never said, I've opened up all of my events. If you want to follow me, it's rockthecomma.com. You are always invited to come and send your prospects. Just text me a picture of who they are. Tell me a little about them, and I promise you, I will seek them out in the audience and edify you. Because we will get to high million agents. My purpose today is to do well so I can do good. And I challenge you to do the same. Thank you. Come on, baby.